What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my cousin, pal, the man with a plan, the one and only John Meleka. He's fucking back, everybody. He is back from Kenya. He's back from his world travels. He's back in the studio, back to get it going. Talk about the Jets, talk about the Knicks. Good gracious, man. We missed you on this podcast. Greg was holding it down. Raisi was holding it down. Chris was holding it down. Everyone was holding it down. But now we have my man, the man making the return like Michael Jordan once again. Not once this year did you do it. You do it twice. Actually, it's not even the same year. It's 2022. Yeah. Welcome. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, bro.
New Year.
We back.
Welcome back.
You guys really held it down, man, over this last couple of weeks. I'm sorry to leave you in the middle of the Jets season, but sometimes the guy needs a break, man. I mean, we were all in for the Jets all year. Everyone went to London for the team. Sometimes it's nice to just sit back, take a break. And I think the Jets needed it too, because they came back on fire, man. Zach Wilson, after his injury, he is so back the last couple of weeks. I'm just so excited about even though we knew this was going to happen, right? I mean, we saw that Jets chart circulating all over social media. Right, where we're at that point of the season where the Jets get some wins and we get all excited about them before the year ends. Like, we're here, and they do it every year. Was we knew it was coming, but I'm so glad that we beat the Jaguars, a game that was so important for me, my personal feelings, not just because it was me against Greg, our video producer and co-host of Winning P Weekly, and stepped in for our Jets episodes, but also because of the whole Trevor Lawrence deal, the whole Urban Meyer nonsense. But dude, Brian Schottenheimer was our offensive coordinator. That had me dying. Like, we could not lose to Brian Schottenheimer. I'm upset. I'm kind of upset that James Robinson got hurt. That kind of sucks. A big injury during that game.
Tell that to my fantasy football team.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you don't have him dynasty. And then we move on to Tampa Bay, dude. The two games I was like, these were huge games circled on my calendar, right? We had Tom Brady coming back to MetLife. For a minute or two, I was really happy I was in Africa, right? During like, I was like, all right, Tom Brady here. I can't have him, beat me at home while I'm freezing again. It's just too much. It's just too much trauma. But we had an amazing game, man. An absolutely amazing game that I've never really heard a coach say we won that game after we lost the game, but I really agree with Saleh. Like, that was such a great press conference. I was actually like, yeah, we won that game. Like, we really did win that game. I don't care if the 7-string wide receiver gets a 40-yard pass from Mr. Tom Brady with a minute left in the game. That has to happen, right? That's just everything that we know about football coming together as one.
I hate it so much. I really hate it so much. Like, I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated after watching that game. I was so angry because I was like, please tell me we finally do this, man. Please finally tell me we stop this man at home. But no, he had to throw a stupid...
After the color green nonsense.
He owns a color green. Get the fuck out of here. After he throws a 33-yard bomb to Grayson, rando wide receiver number 6. It is so infuriating, bro. Like, I was so infuriated watching that pass, and like, yeah, Elijah Riley, you shouldn't have jumped. I'm not rehashing that. Greg and I did that. If you guys want to listen to that again, go back and listen. Earlier this week, dude.
Like, that was an insane game, dude. Fournette.
Can I just say this? Like, I didn't really bring it up with Greg when I was watching that game, but when I saw Antonio Brown just take off a shirt, I was like, did I miss something? This guy get kicked out of the game? Like, did he get ejected? Like, did I miss something? And it's like, no, Antonio Brown's just leaving the game. I was like, he's just leaving the game?
Yeah, he's just straight up leaving. I had no context to that, right? I just got like random notifications that was happening. Like, oh my God, like a random text, oh my God, Antonio Brown, what is this? When you watch it in like live video, like, I didn't even watch a condensed game. I was watching like the full game and the replays. Like, nobody had any idea what was happening. All of a sudden, this guy is straight up dancing in the end zone. I was dying laughing, like, especially when I knew what happened. Like, I'm just like watching it unfold. I'm like, goodness gracious, I can't believe what people were thinking like when this was live happening. Like, just like he just like bounced.
I'm trying to tell you what I was thinking what was going on. Like, I'm
Bruce
watching
Arians
this game.
Was so pissed, dude. Bruce Arians was so mad.
yo, he's not like I just want to know what the actual story is. Like
Well,
and I just
the rumor is the incentives, right? Which
incentives. Yes, go on.
Which is something that wide receivers like Victor Cruz have always talked about. These wide receivers are always on these 1-year deals with the guarantees not that high, and teams purposely freeze wide receivers or running backs or whoever out if it's a reception incentive or it's a play snap advantage, and they literally freeze them out so then they don't get paid their extra $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 bonus, whatever it is. I mean, all year on Winning P Weekly and outside of the podcast, I've been talking about how insane it was that they're letting Carson Wentz play over the snaps because the Colts get a worse draft pick, right? So there was like certain times this year where they could have benched Carson Wentz when they were up a lot or down a lot, and they could have fixed that, but the Colts really did not. They really kept it going, status quo, and they didn't really care about the incentives. On the other side here, they're throwing balls to Grayson. I mean, I know it was at the end of the game after Antonio Brown was out, but if I'm Antonio Brown, I'm also going absolutely bonkers.
Well, here's the other thing too. Like, and I can understand the Carson Wentz thing. You're in playoff contention. You don't want to do that. You don't want to jeopardize that. I get it. And when you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you're just rolling on all cylinders, you can actually afford to do that. But the other thing was that Antonio Brown was talking about he didn't want to injure his ankle. He didn't feel like he was fully ready to go too. So this is the whole thing. Like, what's happening here? Like what? There's like so many things going around. It's like incentives. We have you want to talk about an ankle injury. You want to talk about maybe it's because Antonio Brown has mental health issues, and that could be a real thing too. We just saw what happened after the whole Raiders Patriots debacle and potentially getting traded to the Bills. We saw all of that. So that could also be real. It's just like there's so many stories out there that you just I have no idea what the hell's going on. And it's just so confusing.
You know what I love, Alex? It's over for Tom. It's over. It's over.
Dude.
It's over. Like last year, it was all, roses and, Tampa at home for the Super Bowl all came together. It's over this year. There's no chemistry on the team. They can't stop a nosebleed. They almost lost to the New York Jets. All right, let's keep it in context. Like they should have lost to the New York Jets. We should have been in victory formation. If is this back to LaFleur season where I could hate on LaFleur for a little bit, because for a long time since he's been in the booth, I've had nothing but nice things to say. He really messed up that play, dude. He really messed it up.
Yeah, the communication on that last one to 4th and 2, where it should have been an end around to Berrios, and what they were saying is that they usually call 2 plays. That way, Wilson could call kill, like essentially like an alert is what he uses instead of like kill.
Yeah.
So he would call an alert, and then he would switch to the next play, and essentially that's what happened there for quarterback sneak. However, when that happens,
though, because it's 2 yards. Why are you even calling it though? Why are you even calling that?
He didn't intend to call that. That's the accident. He forgot to say, do not kill to that and just go with the actual play. That's the lack of communication. And then on top of that, Robert Saleh was upset with LaFleur because that should never have happened, being essentially close to 3 yards away, even though it was like 4th and 2. And you're not even close to like getting
not even I don't know, Tua's not even doing that, calling 2-yard QB sneaks. Like,
I agree. I'm also looking at Zach Wilson too. Like, there's got to be a little like alarm there to like your head. Just be like, I'm going to run a QB sneak close to 3 yards away. What are we doing here?
That was so odd, man. I don't know if that was like the pressure of the game or what was happening, because like it was a high intensity. You know what I mean? At that moment, it was very tense.
Oh yeah, you got to think about it. You just had 2 3-and-outs back to back. You just gave the Buccaneers an easy field goal because Brandon Mann had a terrible punt, and now you march all the way down. You're in scoring territory. I can imagine being a rookie. You're like, I have the chance to beat Tom Brady, and I like that he went for it on 4th. You got to go for the kill against Tom Brady. You can't play it safe. Sure. There's no such thing as playing it safe against Tom Brady. That's how you got to play it. Love the call. The execution on the play, on what actually happened, was just the most head scratching thing possible.
It was embarrassing.
And if you watch that play, you see Braxton Berrios just like confused as all hell. He was like
wide open.
But you see, like he turns around, and is like, what? He's like, what?
Yeah.
Like what's going? Like kudos to Barrios because he could have easily been like pissed about it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He could,
No, keep going. Keep going with the Barrios love because we got to get into Mr.
yo,
Braxton Barrios.
yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, you weren't here for the last 2 weeks to give Mr. Barrios as well because he not only had a return for a TD against the Jags, but then he also has 2 TDs, one rushing, one receiving. And look, if I'm him, I'm like, yo, man, I'm killing it today. Give me the goddamn rock. Like he had the easy walk-in touchdown on that end around, just easy. He had the wheels to do it. It was just that was the most infuriating, head scratching, annoying play. This is where I agree with Joe Beningo, who has his own podcast now. Yeah, because I mean, he's just the angry Jets fan who just wants to see it.
Joe Beningo. Let's
go.
On
this where he's like, yeah, no, I'm just angry because like he should have like just had it, like that's the win. That's the win. Unlike Joe Beningo, I can see the moral victory in this, and I also understand where this goddamn team is.
Here's the thing. I'm so proud of Jets Nation for not being upset that we beat the Jaguars. I am proud of Jet Nation for wanting to beat the Buccaneers. Like that's a huge step from last year, man. Think about it. Last year we're crying for winning games, like literally crying about it. So I'm really glad that we had some dignity here to want to beat the Jaguars and beat Tom Brady. And we're finally coming to the same page here where the draft pick doesn't really matter that much. Like, dude, we're going to get a top 5. We're going to get 2 top 10 or maybe a 6 and 12, like,
as of right now, according to Tankathon, we're going to have the 4th and the 7th. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Like, that's really fine with me. I don't really need to, we might miss on, the defensive end from Michigan. That's fine. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be A-okay. So I just want to say I'm proud of Jets Nation for that. And the second part is Braxton Berrios. I'm so happy that everybody's finally on board. It's no longer a joke that Braxton Berrios is our best player. When you just go look at the starters versus the Jaguars. It was disgusting. Like Denzel Mims is our number 1 wide receiver. Like what is happening? I couldn't believe that.
No snaps against the Bucs, by the way. No snaps.
He doesn't deserve any.
He doesn't.
I wonder if that near, I don't know if you remember, but that near pickoff versus the Jaguars in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Like I just watched the game, so it's not fair. But on that, Zach Wilson was clearly looking for the hitch. And so was the cornerback. The only person that wasn't was Denzel Mims. He was going on a post route. And I feel like since then, like there was a little tension there. I'm saying he looked at him twice in that first quarter. And that was the second time. And after that, it was really like the next 2 games really didn't even look his way.
You can't. I mean, we can even go further back than that. Go before the Jaguars game. He has back-to-back miscues for winding up on offense. It's week 14, 15.
Dude. What game was that? Oh my goodness. That hurt. He could not line up before the line of scrimmage. I had no idea what was happening. Like, why couldn't he just line up?
Dude, that was against who was it again? It was against the Dolphins.
Yeah, that was a really tough one. But I'm so happy that Braxton Berrios is in extension talks. Let's go, Alex. Let's go. I love Braxton Berrios. And not only because he's coming off the practice squad, they got cut from the Patriots, which is our own little Danny Woodhead, as you like to say. But he's clearly the best player on our offense.
As of right now,
Wilson. Seriously, including Zach Wilson. Like, I love Zach Wilson, and we're going to get to that right now, and I'm impressed by him. But without Braxton Berrios, I don't think Zach Wilson will be able to get a first down. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to hear you say, like, he's our best player. Like, obviously, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter are going to be the better players. Hope so. And that's like the projection. Like, I think Elijah Moore will. I can bank on that. And I think Michael Carter, too, if he could stay healthy. Like, he was ready to have a blowout game, like, against the Bucs. I think both those guys are hit. Elijah Vera Tucker is a hit. Like, Braxton Berrios, he has been our most reliable player. I think that's the word I want to use for Braxton Berrios. He's our most reliable player because I know what I'm going to get out of him every single day, and he's always going to give like 120% effort. And I think that in and of itself is what I can live with. to me, he's got like that Jericho Cottrell like reliability, like, and that's something that completely gets undervalued in the NFL. It was undervalued when Jericho Cottrell was here, and
Special teams
and special teams, yeah, and like I think Barrios has totally earned it. I think if we don't bring back Crowder, he should definitely be in that starting. He should be our SWAT, like, he should be
forever.
out there.
Him and Elijah Moore, we're good to go. And of course, we're keeping Corey Davis. But I really hope that doesn't stop us from getting a number one. Like, we're gonna run these four. We're gonna run these 4 wide receiver sets, no problem. If you want to keep Corey Davis in, all right. That's you want to keep like trying again next year, no problem. I agree with you. But we need a number 1 wide receiver, and I think our slot is going to be locked up with Barrios, and our number 2 is really locked up with Elijah Moore. So it's really like, where does Corey Davis and a number 1 fit? Because I agree with you on that. Michael Carter, is this his second time with a concussion? Is this his first concussion? I know he had a couple injuries this year.
First concussion. The other one was a hammy or a calf.
Yeah, I know he had the 3 games
or ankle. One
I just wasn't sure if he had
injury.
a concussion.
I can't remember.
Yeah. I just don't want that to be a thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, dude, I'm really, really positive thoughts, especially on the offense the last 2 games. But before we get into this week 18 Bills game, like, what do you think of my favorite? What do you think of Zach Wilson, man? Because we've had some opinion. We've had a roller coaster with Zach Wilson this year. So what's your thoughts about Zach? Because I can't imagine week 18 is going to change your mind, either left or right on Zach Wilson. So what's your opinion? I mean, he's had the injury halfway through the year, so he's kind of giving you the tale of 2 halves here.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion?
Look, man, when it comes to Zach Wilson, I've liked the growth that we've seen. Only 2 interceptions since he's returned from injury, which has been amazing. I went from saying he's a TBD to being a hold. I think when you see the growth that he has, I think you can be optimistic going into next season saying, all right, we have a hold at the quarterback position. Not like, oh, well, whatever happens next year will be a determination. I think seeing what we're seeing now is the guy we were promised, actually promised, and not the Tennessee Titans game, because I know I said it there too. Actually promised, where we saw accurate passes, reading the pocket well, not trying to do too much, not trying to do all this advanced quarterback play, like moving the body, no sliding, and really just being, he was just comfortable, man.
That really pissed me off.
But he looked comfortable, man. He just looked comfortable out there. And I like that, starting to see that growth as a young quarterback, because, rookie season is going to be up and down. You're going to have good games. You're going to have bad games. You're going to have god-awful games. You're going to have incredible games that give you like the high, like the Tennessee Titans, where you get to see the full-on improv, right? Then you get to see 2 back-to-back games against the Jags and the Bucks, where you're like, okay, this is a complete quarterback play. Like, you're managing the game really well and taking your shots when you need to take your shots, and he was throwing the short routes. He was throwing precise passes on the short routes 2 weeks in a row, hitting the mid, seeing guys on slants throwing it right, like with the zip right on the money.
Right to Barrios.
Dude. And you see that stuff, and that's encouraging. And to see him do it 2 weeks in a row, and we've seen him do like against the Eagles, and I forget what other game where we saw a good half. I think it was against the Dolphins where we saw
Bengals.
No, that was Mike White.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we saw against the Dolphins like a good half. We saw against the Eagles a good half. We saw a meh performance against the Saints because no one decided to show up. But
that game was awful.
Yeah, but we're starting to see, like, since that Dolphins game, we're starting to see growth as a quarterback, like an actual progress. So I'm happy about it. And so that's why I'm saying it's a hold. I think when you see those type of performances, you can say go into next season saying, all right, we're riding with Zach Wilson. Now, unless something completely unwinds where he's just god awful, which I don't think that's the case, because looking at these 2 games, I really do think that this is the kid that was promised. And I think he really went back to square one and just is playing his game. So if he does it again this week, then I think, I can go into next season and be like, all right, there's something to build off of here. And I think then him being the competitive person that he is will want to build off that as well. What do you feel about him though? But what do you feel about him? Like, you came back, you've only seen, you last left off on the Dolphins. You didn't get to really watch real time, but now you caught up on the games now that you got back. What are your thoughts about Zach Wilson? Because you were concerned too. Actually, you were more off the edge than I was because I was saying give this guy like an offseason like Obi Toppin. And you're like, yo, no. I don't know what this guy is. Like
I was so scared, bro. I was scared when your quarterback is scared and he it makes me scared. Like that run where he had it and he slid, it looked like he had the yips. And I know that's a word since Simone Biles and the gymnastic stuff, like that's become a word that we're all using with the yips. But it really looked like that, man. It really looked like he had a kind of like a turning point, whether he was going to kind of just like become a project quarterback or become a starting quarterback. And it looks like he's starting to lean towards a starting quarterback. And I'm not going to shy away from saying I've been harsh on him. I've been hard on him because he's a second pick of the first round. You know what I mean? And he deserves to be scrutinized. He's making more money than, half the league in quarterbacks. And it's unfortunate for him, but that's the way it is. And we all know that if you're at the top and you get picked at the top, that means you have a bad team. So we do have to keep it, in perspective. And he lost his the injuries are, to be said for, but let's just talk about the offensive line, right? He lost his left tackle before we even started. His left guard has been unbelievable, but he is a rookie, Vera Tucker. His center has been kind of tough. His right guard has been god awful. And his right tackle has been in and out due to injuries also, whether they're moving into the left, whether he's injured also. We put Moses in because Fonts is on the left. We had McDermott, your boy, when he got that touchdown. How
did you feel after watching that, by the way? Quick side.
That was awesome. That was so awesome. The McDermott touchdown was awesome. You sent it to me, privately, so I got to see it before, but watching it in real time, that was amazing. Because I hate McDermott, right? Because he stinks. So it was perfect. You know what I mean? Like it was perfect. Just a big slap to me, but I was really happy about it. But listen to the stat, dude. Which also a note that Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, the guard that we got from the Chiefs, he had a no trade clause with the Chiefs. He could have just chilled on Kansas City and possibly got a ring. Or if somebody gets hurt in the playoffs, kind of step in there and, play meaningful football with Patrick Mahomes. He decided he's okay to go to the Jets. And listen to the stat. Prior to LDT's first start with the Jets, the New York Jets were attempting 3.6 yards per rushing attempt, which was 29th in the NFL. Since his first start in week 11, the Jets are 5.4 yards per rush attempt, which is second in the NFL. So I don't know if that's more like Zach Wilson's better with a run game generally, which obviously every quarterback is better with a run game, but just think about what he's going to look like with a competent offensive line. And so maybe we're not being so fair on him.
Yeah, and that's an awesome stat, by the way, and a very good point. And I think because I saw shout out to our guy Richie Moore for Jets Media. He posted, should LTD be the starting right guard next season? I said yes, like absolutely. Like you
draft the backup, man. Draft the backup right guard and have him sit,
dude. And like honestly, looking at this line, once LDT replaced Greg Van Roten, honestly, best trade and ever maneuvered by
I love
Joe Douglas. So
much. Geez. I love the Joe Douglas trade. Like he is literally the best. Is he the best?
He swindles people.
He swindles people. It's crazy.
That is like the biggest win for him, is that he's the best at trade. I don't know how this man does it, but he is legit trading guru because he got LDT. And by the way, we got Brown back, who did make a star appearance against the Bucks.
yeah, which was hilarious.
And really offered nothing to get LDT, like a massive upgrade over GVR at right guard. And when you look at the line, once you put LDT in there, I look at Connor McGovern. He wasn't even really that bad once he had LDT and Elijah Vera Tucker next to him. His play improved because you didn't have to, because it's hard as a center when there's the weakest part of the line right next to you at the point of attack. Now that you have two guys side by side that you got to go back, it's like, crap, what do we do now? So it makes his job a little bit easier.
And then it's not a secret. The other team knows it too, and they attack it.
Yeah, that's why they do it. That's why we sucked.
To be light.
Part of the reason why we sucked. A lot of other reasons too. But then when you have Mekhi Becton back, that left side is going to be formidable. I see people saying, let's move Mekhi Becton to the right side. Guys, let's stop with that. All right. George Font's good at the left
That's
side.
insane.
Let's.
I don't think Font's going to be back.
Yeah, I
think we need a
like
right
him.
tackle. I like him, but I just don't think he's going to be back.
Yeah, because he didn't like the right side. He liked the left side better.
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, let's calm down here. Like, can we just remember that Mekhi Becton was looking like a Pro Football Hall of Famer like last season?
People have such short memories, man. By the way, if we were a playoff contending team, I think that Becton would be back. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I think.
No, I don't think that's a hot take. I think he would be back. But I don't think. Well, actually, yeah, I think he would be back. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think he would be back. I think you'd want your best guy out there, depending on how well.
Fine.
Yeah,
he'd be fine. We just don't care right now because we want him to be healthy next year when it matters. And we're gonna get into the projection stuff. You know, we have plenty of time for that, especially before the draft. But I don't know if I'm getting roped into the cycle, but I'm feeling slightly optimistic, man. I'm feeling optimistic about this team.
I feel optimistic about this team. Granted, I know Greg. We're gonna get Greg on to do the whole Joe Douglas talk. We decided to table it for after the season's over, keep it on a high note, and we'll review his draft, free agencies, and stuff like that. Because I think that is an interesting topic to go into. Because as much as I like the job Joe Douglas has done, and he's the best GM we've had since Tannenbaum, like Idzik sucks, McCagnon sucked, so it's not.
We could put it in categories, all right? We could talk about the way he trades. We could talk about the way he drafts, and we talk about
absolutely
his signings because his signings have been really tough, man, really, really tough.
And his first draft was rough too. So
exactly.
We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that. We're not gonna table that now.
Shout out to Le'Veon Bell playing with against the Jets versus the Bucs though. That just popped in my head.
Greg called that too. He was like, "Are we gonna get a revenge game?" I'm like, stop. And then I can't believe we forgot about Todd Bowles on the other side of that game. That was
he's easily forgettable, but the media doesn't like to tell you that if they have a good game. Like, oh my god, I can't believe the Jets fired him. Like, all right, believe it, he stinks, but whatever.
Yeah, I won't get that far. That team, the teams that he had,
he's not a head coach. Rough. He's not a head coach, but whatever.
He was also not dealt a good hand either. Like, let's also be fair. Like, you want to give him Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh McCown for like out of the 3 seasons you're here? That's kind of rough, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, guess who your best wide receiver is too? Robbie Anderson after Brandon Marshall decided to get into a fight with Sheldon Richardson.
Dude, yeah, I mean, Robbie Anderson stinks. I remember everyone crying when he got a touchdown week 1 with Sam Darnold against us. Everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They even made Joe Douglas come out and say, I'm sorry. Should have signed him. I'm like, what's happening? He's like,
you are happy. This is your tour. This is your tour right now. God damn, it's great to have you back. This is your tour right now.
It's crazy, dude. It's just crazy because we talk so much smack, and then when it finally comes back, you know, to the conclusion is here, and we see it, we're like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, what are we talking about? 16 weeks ago, we're talking about the Jets are the worst franchise ever for letting go Robbie Anderson. Now he stinks.
First of all, let's talk about the worst franchise. I mean, if you want to really talk about the worst franchise, just go look at the DMs of the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, that the clowns attacking the mentions is hilarious.
I actually love it.
It is great. It is great because you know what? As much as bad as the Jets have been, yeah, we'll be classy and send a sign on a plane saying "Fire John Idzik," but we won't be that down and bad on Twitter. Just going in the mentions.
I do love that. Or that kid walking around at practice with the signs.
Oh man,
I love that. But dude, let's get into this week 18 because you're talking about me, my comeback tour. This is the game I've been waiting for, man. And I'm so
Is this the game you've been waiting for?
This is the game I'm waiting for because I'm so happy the tables have finally turned. The tables have finally turned because I remember as such a young lad going to Buffalo with the Jets needing this game and Buffalo acting like this is a Super Bowl for them. And Rex Ryan and the Buffalo Bills ruined our lives for absolutely no reason. We threw those 2 interceptions with your boy Fitzpatrick that you just mentioned to number 87.
Don't you dare call that man my boy. Right? Eric Decker and Brandon Marshall, my boys. That man can go.
That game is burned in my head. I can literally replay the whole game in my brain right now. And unfortunately, we can't kick the Bills out. And I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I hope to God the Patriots win this division. And I hope that it's our fault that the Bills lose because as much as I like the Buffalo Bills and it's fun and it's so cute, Buffalo at home. Who, of course, they want to see the Bills Nation jump through tables in the winter. I don't care. I really, really don't care. They deserve an L from the Jets. I'm so happy the Jets are motivated. Like we have Saleh. Like if the Patriots want to lose to the Dolphins, then so be it. Right? The Patriots always suck versus the Dolphins. If they want to lose
In
to
December.
them, no problem.
Oh, actually, it's
Yeah,
January now.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That's up to them. But I want to beat the Buffalo Bills when they need this game. I don't want them to have a home game. I want them to taste what revenge tastes like when the game does not matter for us. And it's probably in our best advantage to lose, just like it was for Rex Ryan. But we got up for this game. And I really want to take Buffalo down. And I do think that it's going to actually be a huge advantage for the Jets and Zach Wilson going forward. Remember, dude, we're 1-6 on the road this year. Like we don't. It's not a very nice schedule. Like we didn't do very well. A game against Buffalo, a division when they need it, a playoff team is going to be huge because are all of our wins versus playoff teams at this point?
Bengals,
I'm trying to think
Titans,
off the top of my head.
Bengals, Titans,
Not Jacksonville,
not Jags. Who's the other one?
So I mean, it's the Texans. So
Texans. Thank you.
Yeah, 2-2. I really would like this win, especially he's on the road. Give me that second road win. Division. Zach Wilson looks good. Hopefully, Braxton Berrios playing for a better contract. Right. Shout out to Yeboah. Yeboah getting some time. Hopefully,
I forgot to mention him on the last pod. Yo, Kenny Yeboah coming out here actually making catches at the tight end and making some deep catches too, looking athletic. Look at that guy. We joked about him. We joked about him all season. Like, who are we going to have Kenny Yeboah out here? And it's like, actually, looks like we needed Kenny Yeboah out here over Ryan Griffin.
I mean, I loved him in college. I was really excited that we got him, in the undrafted section, but he just wasn't getting any playing time, which I never understood because we have Dan Brown. You know what I'm saying? We have Tyler Kroft. We have Ryan Griffin, like you said. So I never understood why he couldn't get time. And at this point, when players can't get time on the Jets, I'm just thinking it's like Mims. Like, I'm sick of begging for playing time with players like Yeboah and Mims. Like they stink. Obviously, they stink. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm really feeling optimistic about this game, especially the way the last game ended, dude. They really tried to win that game versus the Bucs.
So then what do we got to do against the Bills, man? Greg called it last week that we had to run against the Bucs to really stay in it. And he called it, man. We had to do that to stay in that game. And, we're out with our top wide receivers. They got a good secondary. So I think once again, we're looking at, we got to run this. Yeah, we can't throw. We got to run it because there's no way in hell am I do I want to throw against that secondary the Buffalo Bills have. They're scary, bro. I think, and we saw that this recipe can work. I mean, we saw the freaking New England Patriots do it to them and win when, Mac Jones had the best rating by only throwing 3-4 passes. God. So, yeah, I know. I think it's once again we're going to have to run this ball again and then take advantage. Like Michael Ford, once again, too, has to come out with the most creative playbook to really just get everybody going and throw the Buffalo Bills defense off. It's going to be a tough one, man. The Bills are trying to play for trying to win the division so they can get that home field advantage. They're not going to be sleeping on this one. They're going to have to get up as well because they're looking at that foe, the New England Patriots, too, that who knows, they may have to face, right? They may have to face them. So they're going to get.
So they're a little confident going into that, I think.
Yeah, I think hopefully the Bills are feeling themselves a little too much where the Jets can come up and come rain on their parade. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree with you, man. That's how NFL football works, dude. It doesn't make any sense for the Jets to go into Buffalo, which at a time that also doesn't make sense at 425. I have no idea why they're playing at 425, but it's going to be freezing up in Buffalo. I'll tell you that much. No one's going to want to play out there. Yeah. At this exact moment. I hope Zach Wilson does, though. And I hope it's not 1-2-3 Cancun for the Jets. I really hope that they end this week on a really, really good note. I mean, we didn't mention that CJ Mosley got the Curtis Martin Award, which is the best player on and off the field for the Jets. This is his game, man. He's going to be here next year. These kinds of games actually do matter. Like they remember you. And shout out to Gerard Davis. I think he's gonna come back too. He had a nice game, man, especially versus the Jaguars. He was all over the place. I'm hoping that they could put a licking on the Bills just to show them that we're there, even if we lose. I really hope that we're able to make it competitive. We're able to put a stamp on this game. I know we're not going to guard the tight end. I'm aware. I am 100% aware that we're not going to guard the tight end. But let's keep Josh Allen contained, because another one of our big problems is when the quarterback is mobile, they kill us, dude. Because then they move up, they make our linebacker flinch, and then the tight end gets even more open. Wide receivers get open, or running backs out of the backfield. So I'm definitely nervous about that. They crushed us last time, literally due to that. Josh Allen just scramble out and just ruin us. But I think this game's going to be different. I don't know. It's cold. It's icy. The Bills just want to win and get the division. But I think losing versus the Buccaneers helped the Jets for this game. If we beat the Bucs and beat Tom Brady, we would lose this game by 45. I really honestly think that. But I think we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah, and hopefully the Jets do. I mean, I think Zach Wilson should want to have a chip on the shoulder too, right? Because you want to come out here, show that you're making progress too, that you can't be the quarterback of this team. So it only looks good for him if he can also rile up the offense and be like, come on, guys, let's get out there, get this win, or just to compete in general, right? But getting the win would be.
That's so cool. That's the cool part. He's definitely a little kid. Like his mom's like, oh my God, I can't believe Zach Wilson's playing against Tom Brady. Like he's going to be excited that he's going into Buffalo, in the winter. Like he does have that little kid feel in him where it's not just like a business and professional. And so I kind of do like that.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I will say when you look on the other side, like, so when going back to like our offense, right? And I just want to wrap it up. Before I touch on the defense, is that when you look at this team, right, they are without Tre'Davious White. He's on IR. So they could attack the left side if they really wanted to and just make some, LaFleur could try to get some action on the left side, try to take advantage of him while being out, because you got Teron Johnson on that side. I'd want to say from Levy Wallace personally, but
okay.
Yeah,
they don't scare me
though.
They don't scare me. I'm more scared of how bad our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers are rather than how good their secondary is. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. Yeah, I guess the one thing I'll say, that's just for the offense thing. For defense wise, the one thing I will say for the defense is that, you talked about having a spy on Josh Allen. And you talked about how we're bad against the tight end, but dude, we're also bad against running backs that can catch out of the backfield.
Exactly.
This whole thing is once again we
need linebackers.
We've been talking about while you're out, Greg brought up, and we were always saying bend but don't break. So we know this defense is not going to be cover between the 20s really well. They can't break once they get into that red zone.
Can I just say
that's the one thing.
I know that Saleh's talking about that. I know you and Greg were talking about that. I think I hate that phrase more than any other phrase in football. What kind of defense wants to bend? What do you mean? Bend, no break? Yeah, we'll keep you. You can have third and shorts all day, and hopefully we'll stop you once in a while. That is the word. That's just a loser mentality. Honestly, it really is. Bend, don't break defense means we suck, and hopefully we could just stop you once or twice and get the ball back.
I think
that's what that sounds like to me.
I hear what you're saying. I think when you look at when you look at NFL in general, right? Let's go back and just think about how many, and I think it's just because the NFL has also changed where it's not as defensive happy as it once used to be. We're not going to get the 2009, 2010 Jets defense anymore. I think that's just kind of gone and out there.
Revis ain't walking through that door, huh?
He ain't walking through that door. Neither's Troy Polamalu. Neither's Ray Lewis. None of those guys are coming back, man. All right. Brian Urlacher's not here anymore. The mad backer that we once had. And Bart Scott ain't walking through that door. All right. Teddy Bruschi. We can keep going down the list of guys who are just
Jim
complete. Leonard. We can talk about guys who are just complete animals. Ed Reed ain't coming back either, dude. We could talk about guys who they smell blood and they're ready to kill. Today, let's think about the rules, man. You can't lower your helmet. Trying to tackle is just impossible. Today, and it's just.
I agree with you, but there's still crazy good defensive players out there. Look at Micah Parsons, a rookie. He murdered it this year. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's fine. The Watts. You know what I mean? TJ Watt. He's a beast. Even
I think, but the thing
even
is,
Hendrickson. I don't want to say it, but even Hendrickson has been killing it this year.
But here's the thing: like, if we look at the guys that you're mentioning, you're talking about guys who are either playing deep or guys right up on the line. The in between where the craziness all was, the linebackers. That was the glory, man. When you were the linebacker and you were known.
Parsons and Watt.
Yeah. But like, are we talking about like of the same level of like a killer that they were like? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that is where the money was and the joy was. The linebacker flying through the hole, being able to like legit cream the living daylights out of a quarterback. Can't do that anymore. We just saw that earlier this season. We saw that what happened with Matt Ryan. It was like, you kidding me? Like, they're like, it up, roughing the passer. It was like, serious? That's roughing the passer?
You really bringing up the London game right now? You're bringing up that London game?
But I'm making a point. Am I not?
How the hell was that roughing the passer, Alex?
Exactly.
How in the world was that roughing the passer?
Exactly my point. So that's why I say bend, don't break. It's now like the first, or like you just have to use it now because you can't. What can you do? Like, absolutely, what can you do unless you want to just give up penalties?
Yeah. Speaking of penalties, we love penalties on defense. We
love them. Love them.
Why don't the cornerbacks turn their heads, dude? Like, I'm so happy that I knew the ending of Eccles getting that interception versus Tom Brady while watching the Jaguars game, because I was gonna kill him. I was honestly gonna kill him when he didn't turn his back versus the Jaguars. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But shout out to him for getting the interception and having the balls to go get that signed by Tom Brady, and Tom Brady instantly regretting signing the intercepted ball. That makes me happy. Regrets by Tom Brady because the Jets make me happy. Shout out to Eccles for getting that signed by him. I think that's like more of like a haha to hit, like, you know, like it's more embarrassing to have a signed ball by the quarterback for Tom than it is because you know what I saw, which was I think hilarious, and it was just such typical Jets nation. The first thing I saw when it came to that is a headline that wrote, Jets player gets ball signed by Tom Brady after game.
Oh, Brandon Eccles,
which means like it's the dream team, and you know we're Serbia out here getting Lithuania getting the ball signed by Jordan and Barkley after the game. Like, that's not what happened. You know what I mean? That's like Lithuania like blocking Barkley at the end of the game. Be like, yo, could you sign this real quick? You know what I mean? It's way different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That bothered me a little bit. So shout out to Eccles for that. He has his ups and downs. I think he's definitely going to be on the team next year because right now we're talking about defense right now. Bryce Hall, ups and downs, looks good as a number 2, but we need a number 1, man. We really need a number 1 cornerback. Goodry played okay too for the slot. We really need some safeties, obviously, as we've been talking about all year.
How about Michael Carter II with that sack on Tom Brady, though?
That was nice. I mean, anything against Tom is nice. Carter and Eccles, I feel like they're fighting for spots, but not really, right? Because Eccles wants to play in the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think. I think he's going to be more of a number 3. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We'll see. There's some good prospects, honestly, on the cornerbacks, and we're going to get to that. You know, I'm about to be in draft season real soon. There's some nice safeties out there. There's some nice cornerbacks out there. If we don't draft a linebacker with our first pick, I am going to lose my mind. But we'll get to that a different day. Without the first 2 picks, we'll get to that a different day. Right now, we're on the Jets Bills. What's your prediction in this game, man?
Good Lord. It's like even better not predicting these games because it's been actually enjoyable. I'm going to go.
You want the spread? Would that help you? Or will it scare you?
Give me the spread.
The New York Jets are plus 16.5, Alex. I know. That's insane. It's such an insane number. I honestly want to take the money line so bad. It's plus 730. I don't know if I have like Africa brain right now coming in, but 16.5. Like, what's happening?
Bro, can I just say the lines have made no sense at all the last couple of weeks while you've been gone for the New York Jets. I have no idea how to read these things anymore.
16.5. 3 possessions. The half, like it's a hook. Like you can't even win with 2-point conversions. You need 3 possessions. Come on. Like, come on. 99% of the money's on Buffalo. Come on. What are we talking about?
Yo,
I have to take the Jets plus 16.5. I can't wait to talk to Greg about this Winning Picks Weekly because 16.5. What am I? 16.5?
Once
Like, you
again,
need the ball.
what am I
You need
missing
the
here?
ball in the third
Segment.
quarter.
Wrong.
Like,
We
you
don't
need
do
the
this
ball.
segment around here.
Unbelievable, dude. What's going on? Okay, the Bills are gonna win 27-14. We cover. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. 16.5 is nuts to me. Of course, we're gonna lose this game. I expect, but I expect it to be under 2 touchdowns. Forget 3 possessions. I expect it really to be under 2 touchdowns. I thought the line was going to be like 10.5, 11. 16.5.
Makes
Alex,
no sense.
What am I doing here? What's happening, bro?
Wrong segment, wrong podcast. Go talk about that with Greg.
I'm just saying, come on, dude.
I'll say this. First of all, I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be like 27. I think the Jets will lose this one.
Let me tell you something. Sorry, let me tell you something just to add before you say 41.5 is over under. So how can it be 41.5 and then 16.5? Like, so I agree with you. Like, Vegas also thinks it's gonna be a low scoring game. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just wanted to cut you off and throw that in there. But like, how is it gonna be low scoring and lose by 3 possessions? Like, that's a very small window.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like 20-24, something stupid like that.
That'd be beautiful. Or maybe what was that? What was that score that the Jets and Bills kept getting? 22-17 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Give me a 22-17.
Yeah, no, I think this is gonna be a low scoring affair. And I'm gonna go with the Bills winning this one. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong about this one.
So do you so we mentioned a little bit about the draft stuff. And this is week 18. This game literally does not matter for the Jets. And we can't kick Buffalo out of the playoffs as much as I really wish we can. We could just kind of bother them and maybe, and not give them the home field. Do you want this win?
This win,
you said hopefully
honestly,
you're wrong. I'm curious. I'm not going to care either way. I'll throw that honestly, me personally, I'm content either way.
I'm content either way. I just like to see my team win. I feel like
even though it doesn't matter.
Even though it doesn't matter, I would probably not more. I think about it, I'd probably just take the loss and just get good draft position. Try to get something. Try to get a player in here. His
mind, because this is like typical Greg. Like, we win this game, and then during the draft, he's like, "Oh, thank God we beat the Bills week 18." Like, this is like a typical, like, because it's not only about the first round. Remember, we drop one slot in every single round, right? Round 2, round 3. So this is typical Greg, our video producer, and who stepped in for me, and the Jets getting so mad that the Jets beat Buffalo in the week 18 for no reason.
I'll go with the side that I prefer a loss just to keep good draft position. Don't really need the win. If we do win, it'll just be bothersome, but I won't be too upset about it. I'll be happy, like, we got to win. But honestly, the win that I really wanted was against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's
and
the one I wanted.
I needed Jacksonville just for my
Jacksonville too. Yeah,
sake.
Those 2 games definitely needed the wins. Like, you cannot. I will not go on hearing Jacksonville be like, "Oh, at least Trevor Lawrence is better." And you see the Jets. Good thing he stepped out, and good thing he went there and not the Jets, the dumpster fire franchise. Now go look at the mentions of Jags Nation.
Shout out to Jeremy Schaap.
Yeah. You can go rot.
that video lives literally rent free in my brain. But yeah, dude, I agree with you. The Tampa, I'm kind of, see, the thing is, like, as much as I am happy and I agree with you, well, Jets Nation's not upset that we're winning games. I'm not that upset that we lost versus, like, the Bucks. Like, it was fun. Like, the way the way we lost was fine. The way we lost was fine.
Yes, the way we lost was fine, and that's what makes it. I agree with that. That what makes it better. If we just got blown the hell out, it'd been a lot worse. At least we kept it competitive, and we had the lead up until 2 minutes to go. So
that's what I'm saying. And there's mistakes to be fixed. Like, it's not like, oh my goodness, we're a dumpster fire like some games this year. It was okay. We see the mistakes and we could fix them.
And we're young all around, coaches, team, so forth. That's it. But you know what, John?
I can't say that anymore. I can't wait to not say that anymore. Alex.
Next season that won't count. Next season that won't count.
One more week up, we're the youngest team. I can't.
Next season that won't count.
No more next season. No break. No more we're young. No more Zach Wilson's a rookie. No more everyone's a head coach rookie. I'm done with this. No more Joe Douglas's first or second year. So it's not his fault.
After all
I'm
this,
done. I'm done with all this.
All that. This is out the window. That now you actually got to start winning next season. Like, you gotta put some wins on the table.
Let it all out. You let it all out because that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is like the mulligan. Everyone's allowed the mulligan.
I need a tight end. I need a linebacker. I need safeties. I need a guard. I need a right tackle. I need everything.
That's a fact. And on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, Etc. podcast. You know what to do. Make sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That's where you listen to us. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please make sure to leave a comment. Also, if you don't listen to us there, we're on Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. On top of that, we're also on the YouTube channel. Please make sure to subscribe. Also, when you watch the videos, please make sure to hit the like button and hit that notification bell on the channel. That way you know when a new episode drops. And while you're there, we got Winning Picks Weekly. We've been talking about it. What am I missing? That's what John and Greg talk about all the time when they discuss their picks.
I already teased the Jets Buffalo game because it was 16.5.
Guys, go check out Winning Picks Weekly. They're going to talk about this. You can go hear John blow his cap because he's upset with 16.5 for the line right now. And so go listen to Winning Picks Weekly. These guys do a phenomenal job. They go down the NFL slate. They give you their takes. Both of them are doing a phenomenal job. And guys, after this is over, NBA season. These guys are going to be talking NBA, talking about props, everything you need to know. Don't worry. These guys got you covered.
The Tratacaster.
Yeah, I'll be hopping on some of that because I've been doing a little too much prop betting, but that's another that's another issue. But to finish this whole thing off, guys, make sure to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend about this podcast. That's how you help us. And last but certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know about it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you later next week for another episode, the last episode of the Jets rapid reaction for the season.
Let's go Jets, man. Let's go Jets.